Good morning. This is Chris from Artistic Artifacts on what turned out to be an absolutely beautiful day here after rain, wind,
No.
snow yesterday. We're going to talk about handmade gifts this morning. It wouldn't be a Facebook Live if I didn't have an announcement or Judy didn't do an announcement. Really the most important thing is it's Thanksgiving week coming up. We are closed on Thursday for Thanksgiving, and we're closed on Friday for Family Friendly Friday. So our staff can spend time with their family or do their Black Friday shopping or just hang out in bed or make some Christmas presents.
That's a good idea.
And then Saturday is Small Business Saturday. It's also the fifth Saturday of the month. So we will be having our end of bolt sale here in the shop with 40% off any of the fabrics, whether they're on sale or not. They are 40% off, Sharon.
Finished bolt. Yeah.
End of bolt. And then we also have our curated pre-cuts on sale. The curated pre-cuts will also be on sale online, so you're not missing out if you're not here locally. But it's usually a busy time of the year for us on Wednesday and Saturday because we have people who are visiting their family in the area who usually shop online or have taken a class here in the past or moved away, and they're always in to say hello and see what we have new. So that's next week. And the other one is our Christmas stocking fundraiser. It's our 2024 fundraiser. All of the stockings are listed online. We've posted the video. That's Judy shared them last week. And we have 50% of all of the donations will go to Food for Others, which is one of the local food banks. And the other will go to World Central Kitchen for their relief efforts in Western North Carolina, where we have some good friends. So I think that's it for announcements. So thinking about what I was going to do today lots of us were creatives. All of us are creatives, but lots of us make homemade, handmade gifts for Christmas. It could be any range of things. But what I thought I would talk about today are handmade gifts that people can have and pull out every year at Christmas time. So you're going to see lots of either Christmas decorations, handmade items, quilts, whatever. And thinking about it, I started to think about what's special to me. We don't have children, so we actually, and for a number of years, I've been in Vietnam for Christmas, but I've always gotten out my Christmas tree, a little funky tree that holds my Christmas ornaments because those are my Christmas memories. This is one who was made by my roommate back in 1973 when I first moved to Washington, and it was a gift tag. Simple little cross-stitch gift tag. It's just some fabric. There's tiny bit of stuffing, but that goes on my tree every single year. Usually at the bottom because it's cat friendly. These two ornaments also go on my tree. And those were leftover fabrics from nightgowns that I made my sisters many years ago when I sewed garments. God forbid that I might sew a garment anymore. But those are also, and I remember the nightgowns. I think that actually might have been a prom dress. These are ones that Judy made for me a couple years ago. And these are from her ephemera that she shares. Usually I think they've got some to share with you for Thanksgiving and some for Christmas, but she did photo transfers of some of her favorite. She's got some glitter, and it's just stitched together and stuffed. And then the last one I have to share, this is actually from my very first quilt class.
Look what that wrought. All these quilts later.
It's hand quilted, and because I did a lot of counted work before then, I didn't think my stitches were perfect, so that's where I went to machine quilting. But this is one of my treasures. Speaking of counted work, my husband has one that I made a few years later when we met. But these are memories. These are the things that evoke. I mean, somebody's not going to remember necessarily what was in the package, but what was the tag? What was the special little memory you enclosed? So that's what I set out to do today. We got people following?
Yes, lots of people watching.
So the first thing, because there's usually a question as we go along, is what's that quilt behind you? It is the Holly quilt. It is this is my version, which is what's behind it. This is the version in the book. It's a GE Designs. It's in the Stripology Quickies book, which we have. And then we put the kit together with the fabrics. Fun quilt to make. If I could read instructions, it would have looked the same as the book, but I didn't follow instructions.
It's nice to have options.
And it's fun. It's a nice size lap quilt. It would be fun to get it out every year at Christmas time, you know, for a month of December or so. And I think we have maybe 4 of those kits left. I think that goes in there. So then, because I had some leftover fabric from that and some other things, I started saying, what if? So you know that I make rice bags. So this is a what if. These are some of the same fabrics. This is actually the salvage from this fabric.
It's so beautiful.
So I've done some hand stitching on it. I think this is from last year. But a little gift, a gift card or something could go in there, but then someone has a bag that they can pull out every year. This one I just made this week. And I love this fabric, of course. This is some Tim Holtz gingham, I believe, is the design.
Lodge, I think.
And again, I used the selvage. I thought that was fun. This is So in the Moment. It's a Dear Stella design. This one I didn't put the tabs on like this. This one I actually used some of our ribbon for the tabs. But this one I chose to leave as a bucket. You could fold it down. I actually see that this would be really fun to have a poinsettia or an amaryllis, you know, with the foil around it, sitting inside of it.
Good idea. Beautiful centerpiece.
So no scraps go unused in my house. But that's the Casey Stevens Modern Japanese Rice Pouch. The other pattern that's nice of theirs, easy to do, is the round bottom bag. It says it's for hand stitching, but you could easily machine stitch it. But it's another one, doesn't use a lot of fabric. You can use scraps, and it's a great gift bag. And you can make it a little bit taller. I just made a little bit taller than a nice bottle of special olive oil or a wine or something would fit inside of it. So that's always a fun idea. And this, some of the same fabric. This is from Mia Charo. I actually saw this sample apron when the Free Spirit rep was here last year this time when we order. We actually just saw Mia Charo's next one for next year, and it's almost just as cute. But the apron was one of the samples that they had in the fabric book. It's a reversible apron. Very easy to make. So you use 3 fabrics. I think it's like 21 inches. So I would buy, you could get the panel, which we sell separately. I'm not going to open it up. But the panel is sold separately. It's probably a little bit wider than that. So you cut the panel to where it's centered. You want the star centered. And then I bought a yard of this fabric, and I had leftover of this fabric from the wall quilt I used using the same panel. It's a, where did I put the pattern? Oh, here it is. It's called, the pattern's called and it's actually designed perfect for panels, but I've got some really fun Denise Burkett, really big splashy fabric that I think I'm going to make one after the first of the year. I'm not going back to it, but it's an easy one to make. It was fun because it's got elastic in here, so when you put it on, you're not trying to tie it behind. And then this is another one that I'm actually going to enter into the Free Spirit Challenge, which requires to join the challenge, you use 3 Tim Holtz fabrics. It's a Tim Holtz apron challenge. So this is in Holiday Past. This is actually, I believe, maybe is the canvas. Mm-hmm. And then this is the gingham. I added a pocket that's not part of the pattern, but you just sew a rectangle and sew it on. And then this would go for a little bit more of the year, but a fun, reversible, easy to make. It's probably maybe an hour and a half's worth of work. So nice gifts, fun to get out every holiday. And I started out with actually making just this quilt, not just, I don't like the word just. I started out making this quilt with the panel and just some border fabric. And this one won't go in my house this year because I actually have a panel from 2 years ago that is a quilt that goes in the house. It's the right colors, but this is definitely a nice one, a wall quilt to put up or drape over the sofa. And I just love how this deer just stare at it.
Oh my goodness. But it's not just the head, Gary.
No, there's lots of, I like the fact that it's not the strict, I mean, it's kind of a red-orange, so it's not like strict. And the same with this color. It's
very fall-winter.
Yes, it doesn't, I mean, it's a Christmas tree, obviously, but it's got apples and whatever. So, but it doesn't just scream traditional Christmas colors. Okay. So then we decided we would...
And then there's more.
We would put some of these fabrics together so that you have the opportunity to play like I do, in that you're, rather than saying, oh, which of the holiday, seasonal fabrics do I want, it's kind of fun to have. This one is similar, but it's, actually, this is the cuff on my stocking.
Oh, yeah.
I used this for my stocking for the fundraiser, and I put actually I used for the garland, I used a little painter's thread rickrack. I had some yarn that had was kind of twisted with these colors. Of course, I did French knots. I had some little candy canes that I stitched on. So that's my Christmas stocking. And the lining of my stocking is this fabric. And then this, so I had this, comes with it. I was like, okay, what do I make with that? I could cut these out and stitch them, fuse them and stitch them onto a rice bag or a stocking or just about anything. But I gave a demo, I think it was Creative Quest, where I was demoing the Stripology rulers. So my demo was using the pattern, the little Emma pattern, and how to cut the little Emma. I mean, is it? Oh, it's the Emma pattern, not the little Emma. Yeah. it was how to cut the Emma pattern and how it works to where you get these nice inserts. So I had used some leftover fabric to demonstrate, and it was like, well, if I've gone this far, I'll sew them together. So that's the back of my table runner. And then I use part of this this small panel. I use part of that. I love this. I love the black background on this this piece.
The matchstick quilting is very nice.
And then I had leftover from, I love this stripe. So I had leftover from the binding from this quilt, and you can see it's the same black. But I like that diagonal stripe as a border. Any questions?
Maybe, but I'm not sure I saw them.
Okay. So
we got an inexperienced crew here.
Okay. So
we will definitely answer any questions.
This bundle is a Christmas Spirit by Mia Charo. It's a half-yard bundle, and I believe there's 6 pieces. So yesterday I was in talking to Julie, and it's like everybody doesn't like red and green. There's other holidays other than Christmas. So we put together this bundle, and these are Juicy Juice.
Deco Frost.
Deco Frost. And many of the things I've shown you could actually make with these. There are 6 half-yard bundles. We just put them up yesterday. But, you know, of course, after I left here, I'm thinking, I wonder what I could make with it. I'm actually thinking a Stella or a little Stella table runner with these would be fun, because the Stella pattern is a GE design pattern that has stars in it. So that might be, because these are they're very pretty, kind of modern. There's a tiny bit of purple in there. This is just just a hint of purple. There's a hint of teal in there. I mean, they're just so fun. And I think what I'm going to do,
blueprints.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do with some of them is make coasters. And rather than this one, I just stitched around, round and round, square and square and square. But I could actually stitch. I could do some hand stitching of, do some fussy cutting that would fit just perfect, and you would get to be able to do these. So just in how you place it, you're going to, what designs you get on your, and then, reversible little coasters. Again, fun to get out at Christmas time. So, and then this is a fun one that don't let me loose in the warehouse. So one day I was scrounging around looking for something in the back, and I saw one of these as a styrofoam cone. And I was like, oh, I could take some sari silk and make Christmas trees with the styrofoam foam. And what I did was I took little pins. I used, so this one I actually went and bought a bigger one and used some white. I had, I had some star trim, so that became my garland. But I found these. Well, actually, I have them in here, I think. That's going to get a lot of reflection. But that is the snowflake sequins that Judy has here in the shop. And I use some of the bead mix and with tiny fine. We sell these in the shop. We don't sell them online because the price point's really low. But any tiny fine straight pin will fit through the beads. And so I'm just adding beads and sequins and whatever to it. And this is one of the hand-dyed doilies, and I think it's the perfect tree skirt for it.
Absolutely.
And then this one also has its own tree skirt. And again, I used the rickrack for my garland. And I think these snowflakes are probably from my stash. But the same thing, I just pinned them on, the beads on with it.
So easy. For somebody who doesn't think hand stitching is fussy,
And
you just pin it.
It really was. It was, you know, first I wrapped. I started from the top. I wrapped it this way and then folded it and wrapped it that way to cover the top. And then just kept wrapping. I stuck some pins in just to hold it to start with, and then went back and put the garland and then put the decorations on. And I think this one, I know I need more on it, but just like every Christmas tree, you just keep adding and adding and adding. And then this one, I didn't put a garland. This was the first one. Instead of a tree skirt, what I chose was some silk eyelash. So that's what the tree skirt is. And I'm not quite sure what I'm putting on the top of these. This is an experiment. I'm not sure if this will stay, but this is some sari silk yarn just tightened into a ball, and then it's just got multiple pins holding it in together. So it might just stay that way because I'm on to something else by now. But there's lots of fun trims, sequins, beads, whatever colors you want. I mean, I think these are my stash ones. I've just got to, oh, I know which ones. This has got some of the square that we've got these nice circle and square ones, transparent circle sequins, and there's transparent square sequins. And that's what I've kind of got in here. There's some of those on there. But we've got different colors. I think there's a gold. I didn't see a red of the yarn. It might be out there. I missed it yesterday. There's another gold. That would be a tree with the white and the gold would be really pretty. Elegant. So who knows where those will go. Those just might go. I have a tree collection with my nativity set, and that might go with there. And then, so you don't think that I've got all my gifts made and everything done. I do have things in progress. It's still a month out. I've got time. I'm known for my IOUs. So this is one of the drop cloth samplers. This one is actually sold out. We have it on pre-order, and it should be in on Monday, Tuesday morning. So it can be ordered, and you'll still have it in plenty of time. But it's printed on, and then I'm just using Eleganza 8-weight. I did use some Painter's Shimmer metallic thread for a little bit of snowflakes in there. But that is this one. Let me see, take these out because they're, yeah. There's 4 of them. There are the snowflakes. I think the gingerbread house is the other one that's on pre-order. And then there's the cookie project.
Almost like the best of both worlds you get.
Yeah, look at this one.
It's different. So you get a tree, you get a snowflake.
And the stitches on them,
as is.
yeah, it is. Actually, you could just keep it that way, absolutely. And they're basic stitches. This is a chain stitch. This is probably a back stitch. These are straight stitches with French knots. So it's not complicated stitching. She gives you some instructions. She actually, the designer, and I'm not going to be able to say her name. Rebecca, yeah. Rebecca actually is one of the instructors on the Zen stitching, and she did her alphabet drops cloth sampler in the class. I signed up for VIP pass because I'm going to go back and watch them after the first of the year. But in there, she has a traceable design of her alphabet sampler. We actually have a printed design of the alphabet. So if you like what she's done, we do have the alphabet one. And the last project that's still a work in progress is a piece of sashiko. And that's a sashiko cloth snowflakes on green. And I'm just using a white thread. And this one was one I didn't finish last year, and I got it out, and I thought, oh, I need to finish it this year, and maybe it'll get finished. Maybe it won't.
Beautiful.
It's really a fun to do. I kind of like these because it's my goal is to like, should I do them all in this direction? Should then do this direction, or do I do one snowflake at a time?
Yeah.
So it's kind of meditative just as I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. When I finish this, I will probably frame it with actually something like this black fabric. Something like that. I'll make a small quilt, a small wall hanging out of it, or a pillow. Beautiful. All right. And this is my motto for Christmas. Oh, the best part of the nicest part of the year is being with those you love the best. I stitched this in 1981. And as years go by, I'm not always with those I love the best at Christmas, but I am surrounded by the things they gave me and their love over the year. And so I hope that's what I've inspired you to do today, is to make some things that even over the distance, you're part of someone else's Christmas celebration or holiday celebration. So happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for watching this morning. We'll get some of these products up listed sometime today. And happy Thanksgiving. Thank you. Do I hit that? Yes.